Yesterday, I did a video talking about Kevin Conroy and his final performances as Batman. Because a lot of people got relief knowing that there's 2 more projects coming for Kevin Conroy's Batman. This will not be the last time you hear his voice as Batman. Or is it? Because IGN just put this story out yesterday. This is coming from IGN. Pretty big outlet. You would think usually gets everything close to correct. You would hope so anyway. I mean, IGN is a massive outlet. Well, turns out I'm not so sure how true this story is anymore, because later on in the day, 13 hours from this moment in time, Batman Caped Crusader producer clarifies rumors of Kevin Conroy's casting, and guess what? He died before he could do the voice work. So he was going to do this role, and that probably would have been pretty cool because Bruce Timm is working on this show. He's the guy who revealed whether or not he was going to do any work. In case you didn't know, Timm, a very big part of the animated series, the legendary series that really helped push Batman up even into higher heights. Well, he says that that's not happening. Now, so far, nobody has come out and said anything about the Crisis on Infinite Earths movie. So I think that one is likely true. I don't think it's a big part. It's a multiversal movie. So my guess is you might get a scene with animated series Batman. I don't think it's going to be a big scene. I don't think it's going to be a big part of the movie. It's going to be a cameo scene. But I'm fine with that because at least this, when people want to see his final performance, this is what they'll go to, not this Justice League game. However, because half of what they reported was wrong over at the Kill of the Justice League article at IGN, I can't say for sure that this is true. The only reason that I'm going to say maybe is because no one's come out and refuted it yet. And they were pretty quick to come out and do it for this one. So this is still probably going to happen. I don't think it would have taken that much voice work. It's probably pretty quick, easy line. And if anything, it's probably something that they pulled out of storage. I mean, I'm sure he's recorded a shit ton for the animated series. But this is all speculation. So as of now, this one still stands. So he will still be in. He still will be in, as far as I've seen so far, Infinite Crisis on Earth Part 3. But this isn't the only thing going on with this game. Cancellations are up. And I'll get to that in a second. First, let's go over some hypocrisy. So this is a scene that's been making the rounds. I'm going to play it for you. But first, let me explain something to you before you watch it. If the roles were reversed and Harley Quinn was frozen and Deadshot grabbed her ass because she grabs his ass in this scene, and it's a joke, nobody would be laughing, and every single video game outlet and message board, such as Reset Era on the internet, would be crying and complaining about it. But apparently, once again, it's still okay to make jokes about sexual assault on a man. Watch the scene, and you tell me what you think in the comments. So let's start it all over. I don't know the context here. They're frozen for some reason. Some kind of machine did it or Brainiac did it. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. What matters is the hypocritical nature of this scene, because not one outlet has bitched about this, and I think that's pretty telling.
Please do not touch us.
But you saying I can't really makes me want to, you know?
No! Harley, no!
Worth it.
Please do not
You
touch
see that? So, worth it. Imagine if it had been reversed and it was Deadshot doing that to Harley and how everybody online would be clutching their pearls over it. I just think it's worth pointing out. These people are hypocrites. Sweet Baby put this together. And they're there to consult and be more sensitive and bring things in line for a modern audience. But they were okay with that. Hell, they helped consult on the cutscenes. So that's them. Then there's this one from Learning the Wall. Ha ha ha. Toxic masculinity. Green Lantern is described as shit, and Wonder Woman is beautifully crafted in Suicide Squad. This is a feminist game, and normies told us we were crazy. This effing game is ideological driven. Tried to gaslight this one, progressives, and he's absolutely right. I don't know who wrote these bios. They're written by somebody's perspective of who these people are. And they literally talk about toxic masculinity in this. So for Green Lantern, John Stewart, they're like, oh, yeah, he's a Marine, and he was an honorable guy and pretty all-American, one of the good ones. But I don't know what to say here. I guess he's a good role model for the kids, ? If you want your kids to grow up being know-it-all narcs. But for so these are from the files of Lex Luthor. Okay, so it's Lex Luthor describing these characters. And I don't even know if that's the main one. This could be a multiversal Lex Luthor, because for some reason there's multiversal characters in this game. Can someone explain that to me in the comments if they know what's going on with this? Like, why are there multiversal aspects to this game? I thought it all took place in the Arkham universe, which was the dumbest business move, by the way. You didn't have to set this game in the Arkhamverse. And what a way to burn down your video game universe. What a stupid idea that was. Just pointing that out. What a dumb idea. Now you're going to have to totally reboot the Arkhamverse if you want to do another game. Batman was alive at the end of the third game. At the end of the third game, he was still alive. You could have just kept going, but instead you decided to kill him and do this. Okay. But he goes on to talk about how great she is. Well, listen to this. This is talking about her people. Okay. They've solved so many of our society's ills. Broken democracy, lagging technology, toxic masculinity, and thus they flourish through higher learning, mutual aid, and governance without cruelty. They are a golden society who deserve to be as secret as they are. Enter Wonder Woman, so named, I assume because one's wonder why a woman of her caliber and ancestry would leave paradise to play in the mud with us in the League. She is a beacon of hope. Yes, from the all-women society, they have it all figured out. Paradise, utopia even. It's funny, in Marvel Comics, they call America Chavez's home Utopia because it's all women, so all-woman society, and they can have babies with each other. So it's a perfect world. Yeah, all of this is leading to refunds. Now, to be fair, this was published 2 days ago. The height of the refund surging came after people paid $100 to play the game early and got online and it was broken immediately. That's a sign of bad things to come, and people were desperately trying to figure out how to refund the game. And I would imagine this is still the case because the game is such a shit show. Luckily, you have some options if that's something that you want to do. On Steam, I don't know what the percentage of time is, but you're allowed a certain amount of gameplay time, and then you can refund the game. It's a little bit harder on Xbox and PlayStation if you have digital downloads. I'm not so sure. I think you have to call them to do that. On Steam, though, there is an option. It's a quick Google search, and you can find it. Game refunds on Steam, and you'll be good to go real fast. Of course, if you had the game physically, as long as you didn't take the saran wrap off of it, you do have the option to take it back to the store. They will take it back if it's still in the saran wrap. But if you took it out of the packaging, you're not going to be able to return it. You can only return it for another game. So your only other option then is to sell it on eBay or Amazon or take it to GameStop or sell it on Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace. I don't know. But at this point, you know what you're doing if you buy this game. So, I mean, have fun. We should have user reviews by tomorrow. There should be a whole bunch of them. I cannot wait to go through what people that are playing this game think about it. And critics, I'm curious to what they're going to say about it. Are they going to kiss this game's ass? Are they going to say that this is actually a good game? Because I watched Mahler play this game for probably a collected 8 hours between the 2 days that he played it. I just kind of had it on while I was doing stuff, and it doesn't look like a great game. It is definitely a live service game, that's for sure, but it's one of those bullet sponge games. All the enemies take massive amounts of damage to kill, and I just don't like this stuff. And you know, if you're into these kinds of games, that's great. But I think for me, something like this, a comic book game, the story is the draw, and this story is shit. So, you know, you want a good comic book game to play that's a good story? That Guardians of the Galaxy game that came out 2 years ago is fantastic, and I'm pretty sure it's cheap by now. I would highly recommend that game. Of course, if you really want to play some perfection, you can go pick up the original Arkham games. There's 4 of them. They're all great. Those are options, and they're a hell of a lot better than this one. So that is pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think about all of this in the comments. Also, if you would, please like, subscribe, share the video. Make sure you're still subscribed. Hit that notification bell. Check out my Rumble and Locals, and I will see you on the next one. Peace. Make sure to check out my Locals. There's a link in the description. It's a fun community that I'm trying to build over here. If you don't want to support me on YouTube, you can come over here. None of that money goes to YouTube. You also can just come over here for free. But if you are a supporter over here, I do plan on doing an extra live stream once a month and throwing links to the supporters so you can actually come on and have a supporter live stream with me. Also, it's a good place to catch all of my content. You don't have to worry about notifications like YouTube. They'll definitely work over here. So come check out my Locals.